thought we were fortunate to come away with a win. The last shot from where I was sitting was on target. Luckily, it just came up a little short or long. I'm not sure at this point. We played better offensively. Obviously, did some good things. I thought we played pretty good defense. If we could have rebounded the ball on the defensive end of the floor, that would have been beneficial to the outcome. I thought we got a great performance tonight. Probably the best he's played since maybe our game at Duquesne last year, or even Charlotte with Sean Carter. He looked like a man in the paint, finishing balls around the rim, and I think he made a free throw. Yep. So it was nice to see him with 15 and 9. But a good overall team effort, and a guy who's coming along a little bit for us is Putney, Raphael Putney. He's as soon as he puts some weight on down the line, I think he's got a chance to be a very, very good player for us. So 2-1 in conference, got a tough game at Charlotte coming up. I guess they're all tough, so I don't have to preface like that, but we have a big game against Charlotte that is a huge road test. And as you know, we've been sporadic on the road, so hopefully we can remedy that come Wednesday.
Derek, you're going to petition to play all your games here? You're 3-0 here.
Yeah, well, the mayor called me last night and left a nice message, and it's been a good thing for us. I think it's a good thing for the city, and I'm hoping we can continue to at least play, at least one game a year here, and depending on time and dates, maybe more. But right now, I think one's very good for us.
Derek, you had offensive contributions from a bunch of people when it came down to it late. Anthony was still making some big plays for you. Is that kind of almost the ideal situation? He is the go-to guy, but other people...
Absolutely. It's nice that he had some help tonight. It wasn't he had 15 or 20 and it was 2, 4, 6, 8. It was good to see Javorn make some plays, Terrell Vinson, some offensive rebounds, ran the floor a little bit. And then Sean was kind of Sean and Putt, I think, were kind of the X factors tonight. Two guys that gave us some points and some quality minutes that, I'm not sure they show up on the scout report on the other teams as far as, 23 points from those two.
17 assists. Talk about the ball movement today. You had to be really happy with it.
Yeah, we shared the basketball, in transition. I thought we got some good plays. And what we did is that we dropped the ball off to the big guy and he finished. So, the last time we played, I think we had 3 or 4 where we drove and dropped it and they hit the rim and we never got it in the basket. Those are huge plays for our offense and what I'm trying to do with our team. And it's nice to see the guys share the basketball, have great attitudes out there, compete at a pretty good level, and that comes away with a victory.
A while back, Javorn was one of the first guys you highlighted as a compliment to Anthony, and it seemed like he really got going in the first half and you built the lead. Is that kind of what you see this team being with him when he gets going, what this team can be? Well,
when he gets going, that's one more guy that they have to really focus on. It's not like, let's all watch Anthony. I thought tonight Anthony just played within the team, and Javorn was kind of the guy who jump-started our offense. I thought Correa did a nice job that nobody really recognized him, but he played probably the most minutes on the team and really just kind of ran the team. He had a couple plays where he made some mistakes, but he showed some senior leadership out there. And we're trying to figure out who that second, third, and fourth options are going to be. And as the season evolves, a lot of times that kind of takes on a face of its own.
Coming into the season, you probably thought Vincent would be a guy that had a chance of being one of those second, third options. Is tonight a reason for optimism in that direction?
Yeah, he had a little more bounce in his step tonight. He seemed like he was, a little more excited to be out there, and it was his style of game. He was able to get around the rim and get some finishes. He was tougher on the defensive end of the floor. He was out in transition running. I'm not necessarily saying he's a definite second option, but he has to be a guy that the other team is aware that he's out there. And I thought tonight that they knew he was at least on the floor, and he did some very good things.
It seems like he's been more effective offensively when he's playing inside and post a little bit.
Yeah, you're exactly correct. That's why I've tried to move him a little bit, that mid-post area, get him around the rim some. When he's running in transition, trying to get him to hit the backboards and go to the rim. He got 3 or 4 tonight where, he just scored over the guy in the middle of the paint, which was 2 to 4 footers, and that's where he's been effective. With Sean playing the way he did, they couldn't really just hang off him and help on everybody. So we had a nice compliment offensively. The only thing I'm really disturbed about is I didn't think we did a good job on the defensive backboards. I thought at times it looked like 4 or 5 shots by them.
Is Sean's performance but that much more magnified because he did it against one of the league's more talented big guys?
I guess you could say that. I've kind of been waiting for Sean to break out like he did tonight because he's practiced very hard as of late. Him and Hashim have gone at each other probably as hard as I've seen since I've been here of guys of that size going at it. And when you're banging every day in practice, it makes it a little bit easier in the games. City's a pretty good guy to go against, especially when we're doing a lot of half-court stuff at whatever he is now, 265, 270.
Sean,
Derek,
seems
no
like
team is consistent wire to wire over a course of a whole season, but this team has had such swings of play. Do you have a fix at this point about how good a basketball team UMass is?
I'm going one game at a time, Marty. Just one game at a time and looking at the next opponent and saying, who are we playing? Let's get ready for that team. Because we have had some swings, whether it's shots just not going down, how we rebound the ball. But I'm trying to put my finger on it. We're working hard in practice every day and trying to get better and trying to find that second, third, and fourth option so that we don't have those swings, especially on the offensive end. This team is one, like a lot of college teams, where we need to see the ball go in a little bit. It's nice when the ball goes in the basket, and I think that our defense picks up a little bit, our team kind of chemistry picks up a little bit. So to have a few buckets go in, even though we were giving up some, was nice from the get-go tonight.
Last minute scarier than you would have wanted it to be?
Yeah, I'd say a tad. We haven't had a ton of time, and we've had some different players in different positions to really go over a lot of late game situations. That will probably be on the docket first and foremost come Monday afternoon.
Seems like Sean, since he moved back into the starting lineup last month, has been a better player. Has it just been more minutes, or has it been something else in that stretch over about the last 6 games?
No, I think he's put his mind to it that he's really a fifth-year junior, from the transfer year, that he has to be one of the men on this team. We don't have a lot of men on this team, if you understand what I mean. There's not a lot of older guys. There's not a lot of, so he has to become one of those guys who's a mature kind of leader for this team. And I've been trying and working with him to get him into that role. But normally the kid does it on his own at some point, and he made a nice step forward today. So hopefully he can continue that and really give us a paint presence.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty nice. Had a good game, I would say.
Did you sense you were going to be that much a part of the offense coming in?
Yeah, I did, because we watched a lot of film, and they step over to block a lot of shots. So all they told me just be ready to catch and finish. So they made it pretty easy for me.
Kind of went right at Murray a few times.
Yeah, they didn't want me to be more aggressive in the post, and lately, so I've been trying to be. I try to put more pressure on other teams' bigs too, the same way they put pressure on us.
Do you get energized by the idea of playing a guy that he has a pretty good reputation on there?
Yeah, I sure do. I mean, he's a good player. I know about him, so it's always good to come out and compete against good players and see where you're at, and I had pretty good success today, I would say.
Javorn, is this especially rewarding to look at a stat line and see so many different guys make so many contributions in a game like this? That would seem to be especially appreciated by a player like you.
Yeah, as the season went on, we got away from everyone getting involved. So coming back today and having everyone get involved and seeing everybody basically have balanced scoring, balanced rebound and assists. And we had a lot of assists today. So I think 17, we did a good job on sharing the ball. We're just trying to get back to what we were doing at the beginning of the season, which is sharing the ball, moving the ball, finding the open man. That's what we did today.
Javorn, are you personally relieved to come out of that with a win? I mean, you had such a good start to the game, but kind of a scary last minute.
Yeah, I am relieved. We had a big lead. We just got back. We got down. We let them come back. Hey, we toughed it out at the end.
Anthony, were you pretty relieved when Javorn blocked the shot after the turnover underneath?
Yeah, I was. It was a great play by him, a great heads-up play, and that was a big time play in that situation because it saved the bucket for us.
Anthony, as much balance as this team has shown, do you sense at the end of the games that if points are needed at the end of the game, it's your time to really look for openings and try to finish things off?
I mean, if the opportunity presents itself, I'm certainly going to take the shot. I've never been afraid to take the shot in those type of situations. I mean, I think that anybody who has a shot should step up and take it. I think in that situation, but today, fortunately, it was me. And, thankfully, I was able to convert.
Terrell, you spent a lot of this season trying to get going. Today, it looked like you really made some progress. Do you sense that you're where you want to be, or at least heading in that direction?
Oh yeah, I've been able to put a lot of extra time in the gym lately. I haven't been hurt. My body's been feeling pretty good, so I got my legs and lift back. So been getting to the gym early before practice a lot and shooting after practice. So I'm pretty good.
The team, the last few games, is, I wouldn't say slowed it down, but you guys are passing the ball more, spending more time on possessions. Is that a game that's more suited to you?
Today we ran a lot today, so I had better results when we ran.
So it doesn't really matter to you one way or the other, or it doesn't?
No, it doesn't. I prefer to run more than slowing it down.
I thought we played harder and better in the second half. I liked my team mentally in terms of our energy, our togetherness, our intangibles. The reason we made a run and had a chance to tie it at the buzzer is because our effort and our intangibles were there. The first half we were awful defensively, and it may be as simple as we dug ourselves in too deep a hole. The mistakes we made in the first half in the second half are mistakes that we're going to make. But we did a lot of the good things we could do in the second half too, in terms of out-rebounding people and making plays and just being better than we've been defensively. So again, I think the problem with us was in the first half, and I think that if I handle this team a little bit better, that we can make a run in this league. I think as easily as we lose a few games in a row, I think we can win a few games in a row and get right back in there. There are no easy games in the A-10, but I feel like we're right there if I could just do a little bit of a better job with it.
When you talk about handling the team, is that as far as playing patterns, is it style of play, or what?
No. It's just first of all, trying to solve our defensive problems and just trying to keep us the way we were in the second half. Just a committed team with energy. This team is when we're good or bad, it's a difference in mentality. We are what we are physically, but if I could just keep us, mentally strong and mentally together and energetic and a little more committed to defense, and of course teach the defensive side of things a little better. Maybe I could have done a better job preparing them for just how hard UMass drives at the basket. If there's anything I regret just not emphasizing that even more in our preparation. But I like my team mentally in the second half. I like our effort in the second half. I thought we put ourselves in position to win in the second half. I just have to get us more consistent.
How do you do that? No. Do what we did in the second half. Just, they play bad, encourage them, and I need to be as positive as I humanly can with these guys at all times. I need to do a great job in terms of trying to be positive even when it's tough, and just preparing and teaching as best as I possibly can.
Coach, what most impressed you about UMass?
Well, obviously they have talent. Obviously they play their style well. It's one of the problems that we have right now is related to the quote that I'm about to share. Is you could tell a team's well coached when you can look at them and tell what they're trying to do. Hey, they're attacking the basket and they're good at it, and it's what they do, and it's the reason they won the game. So they're offensively. If you have a hard time guarding the ball the way we do, they're a handful. If you could guard the ball, they'll struggle some. But if you have a hard time with on-the-ball defense, they're going at you, and they know where their reads are when they put it on the floor, and they're talented. They can make plays, and they're physically good. They got big, long, athletic guys. They have good depth.
That said, Coach. That said, did you expect as much offense, or UMass going a bunch of Sean Carter, who's not been a big scorer this year?
Certainly, I don't know what to say.
I guess
he did good.
Well, I guess the question is whether they went to him more often than you might have expected.
I can't tell you that. The guy just had a really good game.
About a month ago, after you won at BU, you had a stretch then. Right after that, we had 5 games at home, and you'd only won one of them. Over that last month or so, is there one or two areas where the team's been more deficient than others? They've got to get better in?
We're better than we were, but we lost our edge mentally for a lot of reasons. And we weren't the same team. We're getting back there, but we weren't the same team from our first 6 games through the following 6. We